live and direct from the Phil Sports Arena, Pasig City. We are continuing quarterfinals action here in the PVL All-Filipino Conference. Earlier, it was the PLDT high-speed hitters taking on the Chocomucho Flying Titans, but ultimately it was the Flying Titans who booked the last ticket to the semifinals. And tonight, it's gonna be the Akari Chargers going up against the Galeries Tower Highrisers. Both teams are very hungry to, fight it off tonight. And that lady on your screens, Ivy Lacsina, Mitch Cobb, Isa Jimenez, and Rosel Baliton will be fighting it off tonight for the much anticipated game. Welcome everybody, my name is Kyla Castillo, and with me are my partners Tip Bianco and Miss Naringo.
Thank you so much, Kyla. We're all set after that long but thrilling five-setter match earlier. It's time now for the Akari Chargers and the Galeries Tower Highrisers. Pero silipin muna natin yung quarter-final matchups, guys. Of course, we want to thank all our viewers as well for watching us over on One Sports, on One Sports Plus, and on Pilipinas Live. Just a recap, Noreen, of how it looks like right now for our viewers after that win by Chocomucho advancing to the semifinals.
Well, we have to say we are in the quarterfinals where only 8 teams are here battling it out. Number 1 Creamline leads Cheritigo, and then you see Zeus with that big upset over Petrogas. Akari and Galeries today. Chocomucho, you said, book actually the first ticket to the semifinal. So and the winning 4 teams will make it to the semifinal. Chocomucho waiting already. So this is the quarterfinal seed.
1 team through, 3 more matchups for us to focus on. But first, it's the Galeries Tower Highrisers hoping to extend the series to a game number 3 as they face the Akari Chargers tonight. Noreen, what a match that was last Saturday between these 2 teams. Almost went into 5 sets. Let's talk about how the Chargers got to that point of coming back. They were actually down 2-1 already before they stormed back. And the electric dreams of this team allowed them to win that game.
Yeah, a lot of fans are already saying, right, after Galeries defeated Signal, they're going to defeat Akari. They already had a foot in the door. We have to say, you did mention they had a 2-1 set lead, but Akari, they just didn't want to give up. Ivy Lacsina, we have to say, really dominated that match. They came back, won the 4th set, and won the 5th set. So it did go 5 sets, but Akari prevailed.
But it wasn't done alone by a single lady in that team. 3 of them performed well in that match against the Highrisers, particularly Ivy Lacsina, Eli Soyud, and Gretchen Soltones. And you will see the numbers and how they performed in that game against the Highrisers.
Yeah, I like it that we're highlighting their performances by both teams. All these players, really great numbers. Ivy Lacsina is proving to be a superstar for Akari Chargers. Erupted with 28 points. Ooh. She also had 12 receptions, so a double-double performance. Eli Soyud, what a career. She is on the up and up, and a great compliment to Ivy Lacsina with 19 points. We have to mention also Gretchen Sotones, the veteran, coming off injuries, you know, scoring 10 points, but 14 digs and 17 receptions, so triple-double. I mean, great performances. That's why they prevailed over the Galeries.
And each of these players playing a particular role in scoring, defending, and of course, making up for that lost players that they had in the reinforced conference. Let's go to Kyla now and hear about more about the Akari Chargers. I know Coach Taka wants to go back to the semifinals and hopefully make another final set. What was your conversation like with him earlier?
Yes, Deb. So as you mentioned kanina with Noreen, that was a total team effort displayed by Lacsina, Soltones, and the rest of the Akari Chargers. And we can credit Coach Taka for that performance because he is constantly reminding the team that they have to show that they deserve to be here. They are here for a reason. Even without the reinforcement, Ollie, of course, they miss her, but they want to show that they are capable to do things on their own. All Filipino. And of course, Coach Taka wants to remind the girls always in all ways to remain eager to get that win and of course stay calm and corrected to of course eliminate the errors and frustrations inside the court.
I'm sure they have that well prepared for this match so that they can seal the deal and advance to the semifinals. But obviously in their way are the Galeries Tower Highrisers, who have had an inspiring run this All-Filipino Conference, making it through to that qualifier round, immediately getting to the quarterfinals and almost getting that win against the Chargers last time out, and also took a team effort for them. Rookie in Jewel Encarnacion, France Ronquillo, and Isa Jimenez. What a conference for her. this year.
It's already a breakout conference for them, so why not have breakout performances? And it's nice to mention Jewel Encarnacion, no?
Yeah.
Pretty much a rookie. She had 18 huge points, but not only that, she had 10 digs and 18 receptions, a triple-double for this youngster. Ronquillo has been the constant, I would say, for the Highrisers with 17 points. And then you have Isa Jimenez with 13 points. A lot of people were saying that, she could have scored a bit more, but for me, it is what they do. They complement each other. But aside from this performance, they want to win today and force a rubber match, force a third game.
Yeah, I'm sure they do want to get this one. So you choose, no? Tower 1, Tower 2, Tower 3. Saan mo ba gusto pumunta among those players? But there's another tower in Coach Lerma that we want to ask about, Kyla. You also got to talk to her and hear her thoughts heading into this game.
And Dip, Coach Lerma described the ladies in one word, and that is fighter. These ladies, they're not just here to, play tonight, but they're here to finally end that label that, Galeries is a 5-set team. They're here to prove that they can win and end those 5-set match in a strong manner. And of course, it's for Coach Lerma, they're doing this for every sacrifice that they have made. Of course, those missed holidays with family, those 0 rest days, they're playing for every single blood, sweat, and tears that they've put on in this journey for the All-Filipino Conference.
And I'm sure a lot of things were given up, sacrifice for them to make it to this point. So why not make the most out of it right now that they're already 2 more games away from making their first semifinals appearance. Let's talk about a matchup that you want to highlight in this game. Standing their ground are the liberos of Akari and Galeries Tower in Justine Hazareno and Liza Eroa.
Yeah, well, we keep talking about power. With great power comes great responsibility, but the responsibility now falls on defense, right? And it's good to mention this is a great matchup. Justine Hazareno just made her PVL debut, but quickly, what an impact she's been making. She had 22 digs in game 1. Liza Eroa, for me, has proven that she's one of the best liberos in the country today. So she had 23 digs. So what a great matchup, and we know both of these teams will be focal in today's game.
Identical numbers as well, Nari. That's why it's a really nice matchup to look forward to in this game. Let's go back to Kyla to ask them about this libero matchup for our Pilipinas Live viewers.
Well, now that my partners have covered the stars on the court, let me now shift the focus on you guys, our stars off the court and on the Pilipinas Live app. We actually have a question for you today, focusing on the libero, the defensive backbone of this game. Now we're asking which libero will make a bigger impact in game number 2. You can join the conversation online by using the hashtag #5.
And we're almost all set to begin game number 2 of the quarterfinals between the Akari Chargers and the Galeries Tower Highrisers. But first, we leave you with this video of Liza Eroa and her thoughts on their rookies with Julia Coronel and Jewel Encarnacion.
Si Jewel, siya yung rookie na matapang. Sobrang walang kinatatakutan pag pinapasok sa loob ng court. Kay Julia, parang baby girl pa siya nung unang dating niya sa amin. Pero hindi siya nahihiya sa amin. Ready na siya na ibigay yung sarili niya dito sa kill.
First game against her.
Ang taas sumalon. Nice one, Jewel. Kahit rookie pa lang siya, sobrang tapang na niya. Parang hindi na siya rookie mag-isip eh. Si Jewel, tahimik lang siyang tao. Pero proud ako kasi nagkaroon na siya ng time mag-speak up para sa sarili niya.
Take a look at this set by Coronel. It was actually not a
Nice set, Julia.
Kilyo.
Nice one. Galing. Proud na proud ako sa kanya. Kasi kahit anong pressure man ibigay, kayang-kaya niya dalhin yung sarili niya. Kung magiging leader or team captain siya, kayang-kaya ni Julia. Sa kanilang dalawa, pinaka-favorite ko yung nanalo kami sa Cebu. Kasi hindi mo mararamdaman na rookie silang dalawa nung time na yon. Yung parang sila yung nagdala sa akin para mabuo kami at makuha namin yung first win namin ng conference. Sobrang proud na proud ako sa in-improve nila or sa pagmamature ba nila. Jewel and Julia, proud na proud ako sa inyong dalawa at naway ipagpatuloy niyo yung pagiging matapang sa loob ng court at lagi ko kayong inaabangan sa mga laban natin.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig City and the 2025 season All-Filipino Conference of the Premier Volleyball League, the heart of volleyball. This is day 3 of the quarterfinal round, a best-of-3 series where the team that wins 2 matches moves on to the semifinal round. For match number 84, let us welcome our Galeries Tower Highrisers and their challengers, the winners of Game 1 of their quarterfinal match, our Akari Chargers. Presenting our national officials for this match. First referee, Mr. Mark Santos. Second referee, Mr. Bobby Celso. Let's welcome our starting lineup from our Galeries Tower Highrisers. Let's begin with jersey number 2, Jewel Encarnacion. At number 3, Isabel Jamie Jimenez. Wearing jersey number 12, Rosel Baliton. At number 13, Franz Elise Ronquillo. Number 14, Andrea Marzan. And number 18, Julia Cyril Coronel. Starting libero is their team captain, number 16, Alyssa Eroa. Head coach, Miss Lerma Hiron. Presenting our Akari Chargers. Let's begin with jersey number 6, Michelle Monique Cobb. At number 2, Mariofi Sharma. Wearing jersey number 10, Camille Victoria. Number 16, Ivy Keith Laxina. At number 17, Faith Janine Nisperos. And number 24, Christine Joy Soyo. Starting libero is number 15, Elizabeth Justine Hazareno. Head coach, Mr. Takayuki Minoa. This match is under the supervision of the match.
Let's check out the starters first for the Highrisers. Baliton, Marzan, Jimenez, Coronel, Encarnacion, Ronquillo, and Heroa as their libero. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, Sharma will make a starting appearance here alongside Victoria Soyud Cobb, Laxina, Nisperos, and Hazareno as the libero. And we're all set for game number 2 of the quarterfinals matchup between the Akari Chargers and the Galeries Tower Highrisers. And we say good evening and thank you all for joining us. To our viewers on One Sports, on One Sports Plus, and on Pilipinas Live, Tip Tipianco together with Noreen Go and Kyla Castillo, the broadcast team for this one. Noreen, we're coming off game number 1 last Saturday between these two teams. 5-setter, so you know they're out to fight and go all out again tonight.
Let's also mention, the last game they also, Choco Mucho and PLDT went 5 sets, and earlier today another 5 sets. If that's any indication of how this game may go, we're probably expecting a long one.
You will be with me for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
Akari are on the board with their first point. Nisperos will serve. Played only in set number 1 in their last game against the Highrisers, where she had 3 points. Ronquillo, that is off the block and puts Galeries Tower as well on the board.
Yeah, we did mention in the pregame, we talked about 3 players. And Ronquillo, really, ever since the inception of Galeries Tower, she was always the constant.
Yeah.
So you expect the same today.
Cobb, that is going to be a violation called.
2, serving 1.
I think maybe a net violation or
Service.
I didn't see the referee's hand signal, yeah, but it is a infraction.
Was received by Faith. Pump set to Laxina, but that is out.
Ball is out.
As we go to Kyla Castillo for her report. Kyla?
Dip and Noreen, some may say imposible, but the Galeries Tower Highrisers say watch us. Take it from Kapitana Eliza Eroa herself, who said gusto naming patunayang hindi chamba na nakapasok kami ng quarterfinals. Even adding, ito na yun eh, dapat best game of our lives itong game 2. Matapos daw ang game 1 ay hindi makabasag pinggan sa katahimikan sa dugout. No one dared to speak. You can feel the determination in the air. Kung pwede nga lang daw ay bumawi agad-agad that day. To that she said, kaya itong game 2 ipaglalaban namin dahil sa kabila raw ng matinding pagod, hindi sila papayag na kahapon na ang huli nilang training. They have so much more to look forward to. And best believe, they're not giving up without putting up a fight. Dip and Noreen?
Thank you, Kyla, for that report. Well, we know that the Galeries Tower Highrisers, as talked about earlier in the pregame, they sacrificed so much, and getting through to the quarterfinals from the qualifying round wherein they beat Signal, obviously their morale is high.
Yes.
And if you're that team right now, if you're part of the Galeries Tower Highrisers, you want to make sure that idulo nyo na. Umabot na kayo sa dulo, right? That you have 1 foot in the door.
Yeah, I mean, even last conference, although they weren't as successful, we already saw brilliance, flashes of brilliance. So that win against Signal, you're right, it's a breakout win. Everything is high.
Yeah.
It's just that they couldn't close the match against Akari. So yeah, lessons learned. How will you do that today? But I love the report of Kyla.
Yeah.
The drama.
You can feel the passion.
Yeah.
And right now, the Highrisers are up by a couple of points after that point coming from Eli Soyud, who has also had to fill in the shoes after their reinforced stint, where they had Okaro in that conference. But of course, in an all-local tournament, she had to step in as their main opposite. And she's doing well. Meanwhile, a response from Baliton puts Galeries Tower back up by 3.
Well, for me, the challenge for Akari Chargers really is the energy. They have to bring it in every point of the set. Sometimes they can be they can lax.
Yeah.
You know, they're pretty lax. So when you see them bring that energy, their level really increases. So they want to do that early on.
Yeah, from the get-go, no,
Yeah.
already start out well, which they weren't able to do in that game number 1. As Laksina commits a service error, they dropped the first set in that game 1 last Saturday. They also were down 1 set to 2 before coming back with back-to-back sets to steal that game. Lucky for them, Galeries Tower have committed a couple of service errors here to start the match.
Actually, both sides with their share of errors. That's why the start of this set is pretty slow. You know, that's what you don't want to see. It's a very important game.
Yeah.
You want both teams to have that sense of urgency, we always say.
5-7. Victoria serving for the Chargers. It's a good first ball from Ronquillo. Coronel with a back set to Jimenez. Easy pickings. Soyud straight to Julia. Eroa with a bump set back to Jimenez. Soyud with a steady save. Sharma was checked. They transfer to Faith. And Eroa again saves it. Back and forth we go. And Encarnacion only needs 1 attempt to bring us.
That was a great rally.
Yeah, to bring us to the first technical timeout. The Highrisers are up by 3.
Na-miss niyo ba yung game namin? Kung na-miss niyo, subscribe na to our YouTube channel. Subscribe na!
Arena Plus, Astig sa Sports, back inside the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig for our second game of this Thursday doubleheader. What a treat it has been for our PVL fans earlier. A classic 5-setter again between Chocomucho and PLDT, the former outlasting.
Yeah, I think that was one of the best matches of the conference.
We were screaming at the production room while waiting for our turn. Meanwhile, Desperos gets that point for the Chargers. And this spike of the set is brought to you by Dunkin', pasalubong ng bayan.
Yeah, I mean, for Akari, you're hoping that Desperos has a better game. I mean, if you don't talk about her during the pre-game, you know, she needs to step up. She wants to step up. She wants to be talked about. She is part of the national team, or was part of the national team.
And I'm sure she wants to play more sets this game and help her team out. That was a good deflection. They go back to Nesperos. Saved by Ronquillo. Jimenez trying to alter her attempt, and they force a net touch.
It's a net touch.
They call it on Sharma.
And there is a buzzer on the side of Akari, but I don't think they will push through with it. Well, the challenge. No challenge.
No challenge. But they did press the buzzer.
I think they changed their mind.
Because Sharma admitted.
Sayang din yun. 9-6.
Obviously, a warning will be given. You cannot press the buzzer if you don't. Yeah.
We just had a word with team captain Michelle Cobb as we resume play Andrea Marzan with a serve. Cobb sets up Nisperos, comes up short. And lead now up to 4 for the Highrisers. This is their biggest lead here in set number 1, which is why Coach Taka Minoa will call for a timeout.
Different. They want to make a short setting for us, outside hitter. Okay, that's why our target sub 1. Okay, so hit tayo, make it fast if you want to make it zone 4, pwede. Okay, if it's like you need to hold a setting, long setting, we can also using a play 1. Prepare play 1. Kasi at least our sub target, their sub target going to zone 1. We can make it play 1. Okay? Adjustment tayo, adjustment tayo.
Okay! Go tayo 1 ah! Akari Chargers!
Timeout called by the Akari Chargers as they trail by 4 points early on in this match.
Yeah, you like the start of Galleries. You know, they're just putting the serves in. But it is Akari's having first ball problems.
Yeah. Couldn't set up their play, and just like that, oh. And Fifi Sharma is down on the floor in pain.
Yeah.
There was a collision between Hazareno and Soyud after that first ball, but this is Fifi Sharma.
I can't see what she's holding on to,
Yeah.
the ankle or the knee. Obviously, for her fans, you're hoping it is more the ankle than the knee. I think it is.
This was the setup earlier. She went for... Oh, there you go. The left ankle.
Yeah, she stepped on Mitch Cobb.
Went up for a spike and a decoy play, but unfortunately landing on the foot of her teammate, which is obviously an accident, incidental contact there. And we hope that she will be okay. We'll have Kyla get an update later on. And you don't want any injuries happening, regardless of the team, regardless of who it is.
But again,
Eliminations, quarterfinals, this is obviously not what we want to see, but we're hoping that she's okay.
yeah, but again, if you know, lesser of evil.
Yeah.
You're hoping it's more of an ankle sprain than a knee injury. So we wish her well.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the Chargers get a point. Said Domingo will make an appearance to replace Fifi Sharma. Esperos commits a service error.
Yeah, that's not gonna help. But yeah, you mentioned said Domingo. For the Akari fans, are hoping that she's healthy.
Yeah.
You know, coming into this series, she's healthy, and she needs to step up. She has all the experience behind her.
Cobb goes to Laxina on her first clean hit. And that could get her going here in this set number 1.
Yeah, she is aiming for 28. That's her norm.
Career high.
Career high.
Which,
she wants 29.
Yeah, she had it last game. She had it when she was still with Nexled. Back-to-back points for the Chargers after that attack error.
Yeah, Galeries, they have to be careful with these errors because you've built a lead. Also, because of the errors of Akari, you want to take advantage.
Yeah.
Don't be giving back the errors.
9-12. Ronquillo goes down the line. It was wide. And a 3-0 run here by Akari, which is why Coach Lerma Hiron will call for time.
1,000% na pali nyo dyan. Okay? Medyo hindi pa sila compose. Ngayon, ang nangyayari, tayo yung nawawala sa masyado tayong excited. Kalmahan lang natin. Okay, tsugay natin, bawat puntos. Dapat alam nyo kung saan nyo dadalhin yung bola. Pwede nyong 50%, 80%. kung saan tayo pupuntos. Huwag yung madaliin ang puntos. Pasahan natin ang mabagal muna.
Bilisan mo konti. Bilisan mo konti sa tere. Kaya, hey, Galeries! Slide out na! Slide out na!
Timeout called by the Galeries Tower Highrisers as their lead from as high as 5 points. It's now down to 2. Let's see how they respond after that huddle, and a good answer from Isa Jimenez.
Well, you know, I like what Coach Lerma said. Really, she acknowledges the fact that, or she recognized the fact that Akari isn't playing their normal game. They're not composed. So what she's saying is, don't get too excited.
Yeah.
Calm down, and then they respond.
Well, you want to get them when they are looking vulnerable, right?
Yes.
Cobb goes to Laxina. Jimenez was there. Encarnacion. That is inside. Catches the line. And this time, Coach Taka will call a challenge. Oh. Hey, Coach Rodel Canino again putting down the challenge card.
Yeah, because the first referee signaled that somebody went into the net, possibly Victoria. So it was an academic if you make that challenge.
+1 for Akari.
Unfortunately, Ronquillo couldn't send the ball over, and Akari will take that 3 point.
Substitution.
24 out.
Double substitution. Cal and Bostrillo coming in.
6 out.
Bustrillo also came off the bench, provided 3 points in that game number 1 against Galeries Tower. Camille Cal also played in 3 sets, so it's the two of them being sent in by Coach Taka.
Oh, good dig.
Bustrillo attacks. Coverage by Cal was there. Tough set. Good thing Faith was there to cover. Laxina is blocked, and that's inside.
By Coronel.
And Julia Coronel gets the point.
Yeah, we were told that it's a battle of defense between these teams.
This block of the set is brought to you by East West Bank, the official bank of the PVL All-Filipino Conference.
Great celebration and
Serving.
well deserved.
That is already the 5th service error for Galeries Tower.
That is very frustrating. Really, you work hard for a point, then you give it back.
Yeah.
That's what Coach Lerma is saying. They're not composed. Take advantage. Settle down.
That's a huge reason as to why Akari is pretty much within distance.
Yes.
Only down by 3. Coronel sets up the play to Encarnacion. The dive by Cal, but Esperos was hesitant to get that second ball.
Timeout 16. Galeries
And we
Tower.
go to the second technical timeout. The Highrisers are up by 4.
Bitin na kayo sa games? Watch all the replays on PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe!
SB Finance ang BFF na malalapitan. Enjoying the action here inside the Phil Sports Arena. Quarterfinals volleyball in the PVL. Game number 2 between The Galeries Tower Highrisers versus the Akari Chargers, who are looking to advance to the semis with a win tonight. The Highrisers want to extend this and force a do or die. Let's see how Akari responds. They go to Nisperos.
Ball is out.
But that is out.
17-12.
We have to mention, you see the score of Akari, it's 12, right? 7 of those are coming off errors of Galleries. This could have been
Coronel.
probably over.
Yeah, a lopsided set number 1. Cal back sets to Bustrillo, had to extend a bit. Encarnacion also did the same. Back with the white shirts. Faith on a better hit.
Nisperos through the
Breaks the block as we get an update from Kyla Castillo. Kyla?
Yes, Dip and Noreen. Fifi Sharma went down crying after a bad landing, stepping on Mitch Hubb's foot. Initial diagnosis points to a left ankle sprain, with her return to the court unsure. At the moment, the PTs are icing the area and she'll wait for 15 minutes to figure if Fifi can walk it off. Prayers up for Fifi Sharma. Dip and Noreen?
Thank you, Kyla, for that update. Well, we saw Fifi really wincing in pain earlier when she went down, but hoping that it is going to be okay. And yun ang kailangan gawin, no? I-yelo muna right away.
But, you know, as you were saying that, we have to give it the Galleries, really. Encarnacion, we mentioned her, the top of the coverage. She is playing solid here in the first set at least.
18-13 is the score. It's a good serve. Easy over. A redo for the Chargers. Faith off the block and a point as they try to fight for their teammate who is hurt.
Oh, you love the attitude of Faith Nisperos after that hitting error. She comes back with 2 straight kills. So yeah, they need to build from that. Get the drive from those points.
Yeah.
And not rely on the errors.
Starters back on the floor in Michelle Cobb and Soyud. Ronquillo flies in for that one.
So versatile. Really, you saw the way she approached the blockers. You saw it. Cut shot. Easy does it for Ronquillo.
Yeah, she has really grown into this Galeries Tower squad. Carly Hernandez will check in and serve. That is long. She is usually tasked to do the service, however, couldn't get that through. And that adds to their total. 6 service errors now for the Highrisers.
Well, Coach Lerma still cool about it.
This would have been a 10-point lead, if ever. Maybe.
Easily.
The push. Nisperos able to get there on time. The attack of Laxina sent back by Eroa. Cobb goes back to Ivy. That's wide. Couldn't find the mark. And it's back to a 5-point lead for Galeries Tower.
Yeah, pretty slow start for Laxina. One person who scored 28 points. A couple of errors here and there today.
Cobb goes back to Laxina. But again, the net defense of the Highrisers being shown here in set number 1. And Julia Coronel with another stuffed block. Take a look at that one. Oh, sending it back. And she is fired up. A 6-point advantage. Timeout for Akari.
About tayo, okay? Don't need to make it hurry. We can make it rally, We can make it rally. Going to cover and make it good position. We can get the point, definitely. Okay? Back to zero, back to zero. Wala.
Let's go, girl! Ayan, wala imposible. Let's go! Hurry! Chargers!
Final timeout used up by Coach Takaminoa. His team trailing by 6 points at the latter part of this opening set, much like what we saw in that game number 1.
Yeah, but you did mention prior to that timeout, a great stuff block by Julia Coronel. They need to use defense. I mean, they need to cover up for their errors. Talking about Galleries.
Again, the blocking working well. Ivy changes things up and it works.
Right in the hole.
So you know she has that in her arsenal. You have to change things up. If you're getting blocked, try to score in other ways.
And now has 4 points to lead all. Or rather, 2 points. It is Faith Nisperos who has 4 points for the Chargers. Coronel goes to Jimenez. Popped up by Soltones, who is now in the game. Soyud. It goes through.
I like that. I like that injection of Gretchen Soltones in the lineup. You need some sort of veteran, calmness.
Yeah. And we know that Akari, after the eliminations, are number 3 in terms of blocking. Meanwhile, Galleries are known for their floor defense. But right now, it's Galleries doing the net and Akari playing well in the floor defense.
Whatever works for both these teams.
Paliton on the running in as it drops for her 3rd point.
Yeah, what a great set by Coronel. Really, actually, also, I like the connection. No, Baliton make it look so easy.
Franz Ronquillo.
5-point game once again. And they are only 3 points away from drawing first blood. Cobb back sets to Soyud. Paliton for the cover. Jimenez.
The dig.
Cobb with a save. Hazarena with a bump set to Laxina, and it drops. As they are earning their points here in set number 1. It hasn't been easy.
But in the last few exchanges, you feel that they've actually did increase their energy.
Yeah.
You know, the level is a couple of notches higher.
And as you mentioned, that injection of Soltones in the game.
That's an ace.
And Eli Soyud
19
adds another point via that service ace.
Much needed to trim the lead to 3. What a serve. What a serve.
19-22. Encarnacion checked. Back to Jewel. Ball slowed down. Ivy with a save. And Nazareno climbing on her back after that one. Akari scrambling after that defensive play. They couldn't get in position.
To 19. There's a challenge.
They call a challenge. They call a net touch on Ivy Laxina, who said she didn't touch the net after that jump with Julia Coronel.
They were kind of in disarray when Ivy went for that dive and Hazareno did a piggyback of some sort.
It's not the first, right? We saw a Soyud, was it Cobb or Hazareno?
Hazareno also earlier.
Earlier.
That was when Fifi fell down. Was there a net touch on Ivy? And the net moved before the ball even came across. So that was her arm.
Forearm.
Yeah. Challenge unsuccessful for the Chargers, which means
there is a net fall.
The Highrisers are up by 4 points.
Point and serve. Go to the Highrisers.
They are 2 points away from getting set number 1. Marzan checks back in for Hernandez. Rosel Baliton will be the one to serve for the Highrisers. Good first ball by Soltones that allows Cobb to set up Ivy but couldn't get the proper contact. And Galeries Tower are now at set point.
Well, we have to say pretty uncharacteristic errors on the side of Akari. Ivy Laxina has been their go-to in game 1.
(24-19).
Service. Baliton.
It's Rosel Baliton back at the service line, serving for the set. Cobb this time goes to Victoria, set back,
turned back,
rejected at the net. by Jewel Encarnacion to get set number 1 for the Highrisers.
I have a question. Who's the better blocking team today?
Oh, they are showing out here in the opening set that they can also defend at the net and meet them upstairs as we go to this short break. We'll give you set number 2 when we return.
Player highlights, we got you covered. Subscribe now to the PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe!
Back inside the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig for your PVL All-Filipino Conference quarter-final matchup between the Akari Chargers and the Galeries Tower Highrisers. Let's take a look at the highlights of what happened there. It was pretty one-sided. Despite the multiple service errors of the Highrisers, you could only imagine how the scoreline would have been if they were able to limit that.
Yeah, I mean, it pretty much highlighted the Highrisers. The first set, they just played with so much gusto. Yes, it wasn't perfect, a lot of errors, but the way they came back, you know, with net defense, with their offense, we talked about Ronquillo, Encarnacion, and the likes, and they delivered. Let's look at some numbers. It's actually pretty close in attacks, blocking, 4-0.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think it's the other way around.
Yeah, I think it would. I think anyway, but it's the errors. A lot of errors from Akari, a lot of errors from Galeries as well. But this happened towards in the start. The 14 like compiled throughout the set. Akari could not get any momentum going.
Yeah.
Really, a lot of struggles, a lot of problems. They have to settle down here because how did they win the first game, right? They have to learn from that.
Took the first
And let's see if they'll be able to adjust here in set number 2 as we welcome you all on our coverage dito sa One Sports Plus and on Pilipinas Live. Tip Tipiaco together with Noreen Go and Kyla Castillo. We're covering this match. So Highrisers repeat what they did in game number 1, which is to get the first set. So far, so good with the balanced scoring. Encarnacion has 4 points. 3 other players have 3 each in Baleton, Ronquillo, and Coronel.
Yeah, I think a huge factor also that first set victories, Julia Coronel. Those 2 huge stops at the net, you know, that was morale-boosting stops for them.
And then a setup here to Jimenez as she breaks the block of Victoria for their first point.
We did mention she had 13 points in that last match, but you know, she's more, you know, she can score more.
Good cover there by the Highrisers. Laksina. Oh, they keep it up. But Eroa unable to reach it and send it back.
1-all.
Yeah, good effort. You know, that pretty much summarizes the way Galeries has been playing, trying to keep the ball alive, the passion to try to get the point.
Now, they are so scrappy compared to what we're seeing from the Charger side.
Yeah. Very quiet.
Yeah. Cobb serving 1-all. Ronquillo gets another point.
Through the block.
Again, a great set
7-1.
by Coronel. You saw Baliton running, going for that slide. So a pretty loose block, but a smart hit by Ronquillo. Ronquillo's been steady,
Yeah.
right?
2-1. Cobb back sets to Soyud. Ellie will score that one.
The hand of Jimenez.
Yeah, she has been the bright spot for Akari. You have to say she's the constant in today's game. But the others have got to step up.
Ivy Laxina.
They need more from
To the Chargers.
Laxina and company. It's a bit low for Baliton,
Baliton. Ball
which
is
is
out.
why it sailed out.
3-2.
Is this the first taste of the lead for Akari? Probably.
Oh, they had a 1-point lead in set 1.
Service.
Which is
Yung simula pa lang yun I think.
1-0.
Yeah. Oh, that is short.
Ties the set at 3.
It's those things that will affect Akari with their movement on the court.
Yeah. But, you know, it is a long conference, so maybe fatigue setting in for a lot of these players, but you need to play through it.
Soltones.
Through the block. Soltones.
As we get this report from Kyla Castillo. Kyla?
Yes, Dip, learning from set number 1, the Akari Chargers are dialing in and determined to shift the momentum on their side. As they said on the huddle, kaya yan, walang imposible. Now, Ivy Laxina, aka ang numero 1 paboritong talakan daw ni Coach Taka, according to Ivy herself, shared that apart from scoring, gusto niya ring mag-contribute in terms of bringing in maturity and that much-needed fighting spirit right now inside the court. Meanwhile, Mitch Cobb is reminded by the coaching staff that in order to break the rhythm of Galeries, she needs to spread the offense, show that Akari is not afraid to go to anyone, anywhere. Changing their fate now lies in displaying more trust in their system and most especially in one another. Dip and Noreen?
Thank you, Kyla, for that report. While Kyla is reporting, the rally is still ongoing. We're seeing the fighting spirit that she was talking about in her report from the side of Akari, but couldn't get the point as Soyud sent that out.
Yeah, that was the best rally so far, at least in this set, but they will challenge.
But that was good effort for both teams to keep the ball alive.
For a net fall.
We saw variations as well. Kyla mentioned in her report for Cobb to distribute the ball. We saw different attacks, but again, the scrappiness of Galeries Tower.
Yeah.
Making it so hard for Akari to get points.
You know what I love about when people talk about Galeries? It's like, pwede lagi mag-set tie. Whether or not they have the advantage because of their attitude. Clean, yeah, pretty clean.
Challenge is unsuccessful.
So an unsuccessful challenge for the Chargers.
We're tied at 4.
Well, Galeries in the preliminaries had a couple of games rather, that they played in 5 sets, both in losses. But as you mentioned, to your point, they can force 5 setters.
Yeah.
That's a good attack coming from Soyud.
Yeah, Soyud is actually the one carrying the offensive load of Akari. But one thing you and I were talking about, you have Sed Domingo in your roster.
Yeah.
You want to feed her more. Yes, she got 1 set. It wasn't a solid connection, but get her going.
Yeah.
You know the caliber of a player Sed Domingo is.
Sed Domingo, of course, having awards here in the PVL with her previous team when she was still with Creamline, so she is capable.
And she went to Thailand as an expat.
Played for Nakon Ratchasima.
Yeah. So if you're Akari, obviously you want to get her game going. in this series.
Rachel Sultanas serving for the Chargers.
Akari back up by 1. 6-5. Coronel goes to Ronquillo. Azareno with a pickup. Cobb goes to Ivy. Ivy, that sails out. So she hasn't really gotten or been on target at all in this game.
Yeah, a couple of missed hits, right? I mean, we saw that she tried to go over the blockers, but yeah, not enough snap of the wrist.
Andrea Marzan serving for the Highrisers.
Tabla tayo at 6-all. And there you go. They set up Set Domingo.
7-6.
I mean, finally.
I think your voice was loud enough that they heard it.
Because, you know, she was sidelined by an injury, right, when she first joined Akari.
Yeah.
A lot of people probably forgot about her, but we certainly haven't.
But she is a former finals MVP and second best middle blocker here in the PVL. But look at Ronquillo go. When she goes up, it's like she's floating in air.
Looks like she's gliding. Right? There's no effort to jump.
Yeah. Seven all. Cobb to the middle in Victoria with a follow through as we go to the first technical timeout.
Na-miss niyo ba yung game namin? Kung na-miss niyo, subscribe na to our YouTube channel. Subscribe na!
By the way, UAAP Season 87 Volleyball is live and exclusive here on Signal. Watch it all live on the UAAP Varsity Channel, One Sports, and Pilipinas Live because legends start here. Round number 2 will begin this weekend. And it will happen at the Mall of Asia Arena, so we hope to see you there as we begin second round of Season 87 Volleyball over the UAAP. Meanwhile, here at the PVL, it's quarterfinals. And Galeries Tower looking to take back the lead, and they do so. But first, they tie this game up, rather at 8-all.
Yeah, great connection there. Julia Coronel to Baliton. We've seen that. And she created, look at that set. Victoria's on her way to the other side. So a one-on-one.
Cobb goes to Soyud on the adjustment. Some spin on that, but still saved by the Highrisers. Jimenez comes up short.
You know, for me, with Coach Taka putting in Gretchen Sultanas, what she gives to the game, very sound first pass. Very sound. That's why they're able to actually go to the middles, you know, create plays.
So steady floor defense delivered by Soltones. Meanwhile, Erica Raagas will make an appearance for the Akari Chargers. Did not see action in game number 1. And coming off the bench, a bit cold. with that service error.
Yeah, I mean, if you're called from the bench, you want them to put in their serves for obvious reasons. Oh!
And they target her.
And she scores.
On the serve by Rosel Baliton, who gets an ace and puts the Highrisers up by 1.
I think that was smart. You know, you come off the bench, you commit a service error, I'll target you.
That serve just swerved to the corner. It's out for Jimenez.
Ball is out. We're tied at 10.
Back-to-back errors for Isa Jimenez. She's got to get her game going, you know. She is one of the go-tos for Galeries.
Serving for the Chargers.
10-all. That is short for Camille Victoria. And that will mean another 1-point lead here for the Highrisers.
Julia Coronel.
Well, similar to the first round, the errors actually creeping in here in the second set.
Cobb back sets to Soyud. Saved by Coronel. Ero with a bump set to Jimenez, but blocked.
Jimenez turned back.
Well, that's got to pump them up, right? Akari, you get a stuff block. That normally the impact is huge.
That was Gretchen Soltones with a block of the set, brought to you by East West Bank, the official bank of the PVL All-Filipino Conference. Soyud gets that through. Coronel tosses to Encarnacion, and it drops right in.
Yeah, credit half that point to Coronel. That was a quick shoot set. Only Cobb was left to man the net.
This spike of the set is brought to you by Duncan, pasalubong ng bayan. That clips the net. The running hit from Domingo. Checked by Eroa.
Oh, good dig.
Saved by Ragas on the attack by Ronquillo. Soltones was also checked. Nilipat kay Soyud. Eroa sends it back. What a dig. Set with some power, and it drops.
Good effort though on the side of Galeries to keep that ball alive. But yes, they're feeding Set. She is a threat when she's in front.
Set Domingo did not score when she replaced Fifi Sharma late in set number 1, but now has a couple of points. Meanwhile, Ivy Laxina checks back in. A quick stint for Raagas, who will head to the bench. No connection found between Coronel and Marzan, and Akari will overtake.
Yeah, Akari will take it. 3 points coming their way.
Service, Soltones.
Short serve by Soltones. Ronquillo.
Oh, good dig.
Straight to Hazareno. Laxina goes up. Julia on the setup, back to Ronquillo.
Off the hand of Cobb.
Again, a one-on-one, and they've been challenging that block of Mitch Cobb. You know, that's a welcome point for Galeries because they were relying on the Jimenez on the opposite, Ronquillo at the outside.
Yeah.
But Jimenez has been struggling, so you're left with a few options.
Meanwhile, Domingo getting her groove here in set number 2 now with 3 points on the same play that Cobb set up for her.
Yeah, that's what the Akari fans want to see, right? You get Sed Domingo in the game.
14-13, but that is out. Deadlock again at 14 all.
It's a slow crawl here in set number 2.
There have been 14 deadlocks and 14 points each. I just noticed that each point we've been in, nagtatabla tayo.
Let's see.
Now that I said it, no?
Yeah.
Baka biglang maiba yung pattern. So it's literally neck and neck.
Neck and neck. Tit for tat.
14 deadlocks. Let's see if Akari will get this one. And off speed. Picked up. Tronquillo.
Oh, good dig.
Nice save coming from Hazareno. Ivy with her own off speed. And we are tied at 15 all.
You did not jinx the trend. It is 15 all.
When you said na slow grind, dun ko tinignan, and we saw that it is 15 deadlocks.
Step 1, 2.
Which is why it makes so much sense. 15 all. Baliton, Cobb with the reflex. Soyud attacks. Long. They're asking for a check though. They will challenge for a block touch.
Baliton admits. That's that.
And an admission, which means we go to the second technical timeout as the Akari Chargers are up by 1, 16 to 15.
Bitin na kaya sa games? Watch all the replays on PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe!
Back inside the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig for your 2025 PVL All-Filipino Conference. A very tight set number 2 between the Chargers and the Highrisers. As you mentioned, 15 deadlocks.
15. And it's what? 16-15.
The Galeries looking to tie it for the 16th time. But not that time. Hazareno with a bump set to Soyud. Picked up by Jimenez. Encarnacion, that sails out. And that breaks the pattern, finally.
The streak has been broken. And one team claims a 2-point lead.
I thought it would never happen here in this set.
16, 15 deadlocks.
Ganun kadikit itong laban ito so far. But a response for Baliton on the running hit.
Look at her reaction. It's like she was she was telling Laksina to block. Where's the block? Where's the blocker? Good pass.
Again, nice pass. Cobb to Soyud. Quick reaction coming from Coronel. Encarnacion, oh! With a facial on Cobb as she apologizes for that hit.
16.
This might be a record.
Probably is. 15, 16, 15 deadlock.
17 all. Sultone says, I got it. Then Soyud with a smash.
Yeah, that's a wrong decision for Galeries to let that go. Soyud has been on point today. No blockers. Look at that. Hitting practice for Eli Soyud.
Good recovery for the Chargers who maintain this 1-point lead. Ivy Laksina serving. Steady first ball from Ronquillo, and they've been going to Rosel Baliton. Coronel likes that option, and it's been working.
It has been. You know why? Because Baliton has been changing directions. Going across, going down the line, trying not to be predictable. Oh!
And an ace delivered by Rosel Baliton to put Galeries Tower back up by 1 as we take a look at how that ball suddenly just dropped in.
Right on the line.
And timeout called by Akari.
Okay, let's follow. Make a line block. And close the defense, okay? And also, we have to adjust. Sub-target zone yan. Always make a cheap pass. We can already time to make a heavy pass, okay? One side out, and we're going to have a break. Go on. Chargers!
Timeout called by the Chargers, who are down by a single point. It's been that kind of a set. No team letting up, but Baliton has been an X factor for sure. 8 points already. But as you like to say in the rintit for tat, after getting an ace, commits a service error. We have to really check our records if this is the most deadlocks in a set. 18 times that we are tied.
At 19.
This time at 19 all. Soyud, a block, and it's inside. The Highrisers pointing to the spot where it dropped.
And we know, I mean, the blocking of Galeries Highrisers is their advantage in the first set. So it's good to go, get some stops at this point.
That is their 5th block as a team. Coronel serving. Cobb, tough one-hand set. Chance for them. Julia goes to the right side, and Jimenez.
Chance.
Soyud again. And it goes in for Akari.
Well, Mitch Cobb knows that Soyud has got the hot hands today. So yeah, I mean, first option, not Ivy Laxina, not Gretchen Sotones, it is Ellie Soyud. And she has been delivering.
Yeah, 9 points. She will have to work from the back in this rotation. 20 all. Encarnacion blocked.
No entry,
Said Domingo. Meeting her at the net.
With Reed, you did say she was once best middle blocker.
Yeah, second best middle blocker in the PVL.
Galeries Tower.
Former finals MVP. They're now up by 1 point. Timeout for Galeries Tower.
Same pa rin tayo, beatress. Pero isa ready ka dyan, single block ka dyan. Ha? O sige, pasahan lang natin ng maayos. Ngayon kung magda-drop pull ka, kung magda-drop pull ka, dito. Pasok yung depensa nila, dito nyo dalhin. Dalawang dulo. Okay? Ang blockings nila, naka-inside niya. Madaling mag-block. Ngayon kung magda-drop pull kayo, syempre nakapasok yan.
Kaya ko. Isa lang.
Baka naman puro track gawin mo.
Haluin mo.
Some laughs on the huddle by the Highrisers coach Lerma, talking about different types of attacks na drop, pero sabi ng teammates, baka naman puro drop yung gawin nyo, diba? Hindi naman pwedeng ganun.
It's nice and light, no? In their huddle.
Despite being down by 1 point, just goes to show how they are taking this game with positive energy. Soltones, though, will put the Chargers up by 2.
Well, you like this rotation for Akari because you have 2 veterans in front, in Said Domingo and Gretchen Sotones. You know they're going to go for their shots.
Can that wake them up totally here?
Good serve.
Encarnacion goes for the attack. Chance. Cobb back to Gretchel. The save by Encarnacion. Jimenez.
Whoa, good dig.
Dug up by Laxina. Soltones again, and it goes for Akari. We're now up by 3, their biggest here in set number 2.
That is a luxury in this set.
4-0 blast. After being down by 1 point, they come up with this run. And Coach Lerma uses up her final timeout.
Okay, pangalawa, hindi lahat ng bola kailangan blakin. Ang hirap na ng anggulo na yun. Kung dinipensahan nyo na lang sa floor. Okay, move on to the next tayo. Kailangan muna natin pumasa. Okay, kailangan muna natin pumasa. Ikaw doon, apat ang papasa. Ikaw doon ka sa dulo. 4 kayo. Huy, 4 kayong apat. Pumalo ka doon, dito ka sa 4.
Go! Tapos kapitan natin.
Go!
Galeries! Habol tayo!
Timeout called by Coach Lerma Hiron as they're trailing by 3 points. Might be the first huddle that they feel that sense of urgency.
And you can see they made in-game adjustments.
Yeah.
4 kayo mag-receive.
That's the first ball right there. But a block! And Domingo likes that one from Michelle Cobb.
That's a huge stop to get the set point.
With a reaction, Cobb on a single block. And that puts the Chargers at set point.
I mean, every time a setter goes up to block and gets the stuff blocked, that's such a good feeling for that particular team.
Yeah, we know that Michelle Cobb really has that good sense of timing. Chance here to close this set out. Cobb to Domingo.
Not yet.
Coronel will give up a free ball. Mitch back to Sed. And they connect for the final point of set number 2 as they tie this one up at 1 set apiece.
Akari Chargers has found the charge here towards the end of the second set.
It was a slow charger at first, and then they switched to a fast charger. Here in set number 2, a 6-0 run to end set number 2. And they are all smiles as we head to set number 3.
Player highlights, we got you covered. Subscribe now to the PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe!
Back inside the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig for your 2025 PVL All-Filipino Conference quarterfinals between the Akari Chargers and the Galeries Tower Highrisers. And we are all tied up at one set apiece. Let's take a look at the highlights of what happened there. It was a very close set number 2 as slow grind, as you mentioned, Doreen. A total of 19 deadlocks, just to emphasize how tight that was. But what did you see on the part of the Chargers, especially late in that 6-0 surge?
For me, the last few points actually was the one that determined the set, right? It was so close to the 19s and the 20s, but then it just so happened that you had Rachel Soltones and Seth Domingo in front at the right time. Two veterans with great attitude just came through for the team. Look at the numbers. The attacks Akari by 5. They had more blocks this set. Errors even, but it really boiled down to the last few points all the way to 25.
Yeah.
I think that 15, that was probably tied until the last few points, right? And again, it's the veterans that worked hard, worked well. Rachel Soton and Domingo, they were the ones who actually pulled the team for the second set victory.
They changed the complexion of the game for the Chargers in set number 2. Soltones with her, as usual, steady floor defense, which she also provided back in game number 1. And Seth Domingo coming alive in that set, helping out with 5 points for the Chargers. Meanwhile, on the other side, Rosel Paliton leads all Highrisers with 8 points. Seth Domingo coming in late in set number 1 to replace Fifi Sharma, who twisted her left ankle. For those of you who just tuned in and missed out on that, she went for an attack, unfortunately landed on Michelle Cobb's left foot.
Yeah.
The heel, actually, sa likod.
If I remember correctly, after setting, she stepped back.
Yeah. And then paharap pa forward naman si
Sharma.
Fifi, so it collided. And a while ago, Kyler reported to us, gave us an update on how it's a
with the first serve.
game time decision depending on her coming back, but it looks like she will sit out the rest of this game. So we welcome you all to set number 3 here on One Sports, on One Sports Plus, and on Pilipinas Live. Dip De Bianco with Nareen Go. Kyla Castillo, our courtside reporter, will give us more updates in set number 3.
Yeah, you know, now for Akari, for me, it is a challenge. You won that second set barely, really barely, even if it's 25-20. I mean, how are you going to respond here in the third set?
Yeah.
How are you going to play?
Marzan will be the one to set it up for Ronquillo, and they end up getting a point off of a block touch.
There's a ball touch. Ball on the Chargers.
Let's check it out.
1-all. Andrea Marzan serve.
Hitting the fingertips of Camille Victoria, which changed the direction of that ball. Cobb had to track that one. Laksina
through the block.
scores for Akari.
Well, if they can get Ivy Laksina going here in set number 3, pretty quiet first and second set, I mean, that would be a good sign for Akari.
Especially coming off a career high 28-point performance, which she also did back when she was with the Chameleons of Next Led. Isa Jimenez, a strong spike to tie this one up at 2-all. As you check out this spike of the set, brought to you by Duncan, pasalubong ng bayan.
Yeah, she needed that. You know, Isa Jimenez needed that to boost her confidence, I was going to say. Because the two players from both sides that are apparently, you know, having a slow game is Ivy Laksina and Isa Jimenez. Two players whom we talked about in the pregame. So they have to come and play their game.
Yeah. Coronel goes to Baliton. Perfectly set up play. The perfect height for Rosel Baliton. And Coronel staying focused in this match.
And she has been steady talking about Rosel Baliton.
It's received by Hazareno. But Laksina will try nonetheless. Encarnacion gets it. They go back to Rosel. They convert another one. As we go to Kyla Castillo for this report. Kyla?
Yes, Dip. Kinapos man kaninang set number 2. There was that surge by Rosel Baliton, which they will be needing more this third set. She shared with me earlier with both humility and pride na sobrang unexpected raw para sa kanila na nandito sila ngayon. Kaya naman malalim ang hugot niya, thinking that they did not come this far, only to come this far. Earlier, she told me, and I quote, ako lagi kong iniisip ano pang pwedeng i-improve, ano pang ilalakas ko. Sa araw-araw daw na training ay hindi biro ang mga naging sakripisyo niya at nakikita niyang hindi pa na ilalabas ng Galeries kung ano talaga ang kapasidad nila. Well, now is definitely the time to unleash the full force of their arsenal. As Coach Lerma said, panindigan niyo to, matuto sa mga pagkakamali kanina at please, ilaban niyo na. Deep and Noreen?
Thank you, Kyla, for that report. Well said. And Rosel Baliton, while Kyla was reporting, actually got another point
Ball is long. 6.
via a
Serving 3.
block. So she has been extremely helpful for Galeries Tower.
Yeah, and if we talk about this start, 6-3, that's already a lot different from set number 2.
Laksina, look at the scramble by the Highrisers, and they get to save it again, but that one is wide.
Good effort though on the part of Galeries, and you said it, you know, very scrappy, but you like the attitude really.
Ivy Laksina.
So Rosel Baliton has been a big part of that. Meanwhile, Laksina now has 6 points to her name. Her team down by 2. With the help of the net on that serve. Back with the white shirts. Cobb to Soltones. That is off the block. And another point for the Chargers.
Again, smart hitting on the side of Soltones, just using the blockers. Very typical of Gretchen Soltones.
Service. Laksina.
5-6. Coronel goes to Encarnacion, sent back. Cobb and Domingo teaming up.
Was that Cobb?
Looks like it. As we check out this block of the set brought to you by East West Bank, the official bank of the PVL All-Filipino Conference. 2 blocks now for Michelle Cobb.
But you're right, Dip. The timing.
Both of her points coming from blocks, but that serve was nowhere near for Laksina.
Not really not in her element today.
Serving for the Highrisers.
1 point lead for Galeries Tower. The setup to Soltones.
Oh, what a dig.
Tag up by Ronquillo. Baliton will send over. That is over. Dug by Laksina, pero napaganda pa for Akari.
Well, Mitch Cobb sold that she was going to set it, so the blockers kind of stalled, and then the ball went over. Scramble.
Domingo. Serving for Akari.
7-all, 5 deadlocks here in set 3. And it'll be Marzan who gets the point, which brings us to the first technical timeout.
Na-miss niyo ba yung game namin? Kung na-miss niyo, subscribe na to our YouTube channel. Subscribe na!
the glory. This is our team, the Golden Age. New episodes every Friday on One Sports Plus, and Pilipinas Live app. And that is the journey of our Filipino athletes in the Paris 2024, the Olympics. You can watch that over on One Sports and on Pilipinas Live. Action resumes. The dive by Coronel. Jimenez gets that through.
Yeah, off-speed hit. That just targeted the blocker's hand.
2-point lead for Galeries Tower. 11 excellent sets already for Coronel. Cobb. Soltones. Naibalik. Victoria goes back to Gretchel. On a sharper angle. A high free ball given up by Eroa. Cobb to Soltones on the push. Pump set to Encarnacion. And it drops.
A good rally there. Again, appreciate good defense by both teams.
Just going long on that one, and Laxina couldn't get it up properly. That is 4 straight points, make that 5 straight points for the Galeries Tower Highrisers. With a service ace delivered by Julia Coronel.
Yeah, Coronel has been steady at the service line.
Number 3 overall pick in last year's PVL draft, doing wonders for her team. Ronquillo gets out of the way. Oh, look at that play on Eroa's setup from far out, and Encarnacion rewarding her teammates' efforts.
Look at this, out of system. This one looked like it was gonna go out, but the out of system bump set.
Oh wow. Which is why you never give up on a play. And timeout called by Coach Takaminoa.
natin yung mindset nila na walang lumalabas. So, change natin yun. Ngayon, ganoon din tayo, ha? Tara.
Okay, isa-isa na lang. Isa-isa na. English ko lang.
Hari!
Chargers! Isa-isa lang.
Timeout called by the Akari Chargers, and Captain Michelle Cobb had a few words to say to her teammates in that huddle.
Yeah, it made all the sense, no, in the world, because she's saying she's actually taking from Galeries. It's the mindset that, you know, never say die attitude. He said we have to have that too.
You can't underestimate a team like Galeries Tower, who have already come far. Coronel to Marzan. Cobb to Soltones. Back with Akari. Same play. Same result. Picked up by the Highrisers. They transfer. Encarnacion.
Wow. What a change up there. And you know, when you look at the sets, it's not actually perfect sets. You know, they're bump sets, making do with what's given to them. And Jewel Encarnacion just playing it smart, off speed. Oh.
Soltones tries. Ronquillo with a save. Marzan on a bump set to Encarnacion. And again, she scores.
What can we say, Dip? Total team effort at this point for Galeries. And this has been the rotation that they like with Coronel serving.
11 points now for Jewel Encarnacion. And more importantly, a 7-point lead.
Wow.
Down the line.
Silenced momentarily by Soltones.
Much needed point for Akari. Again, the veteran delivers.
Team captain, Michelle Cobb. Serving for the Chargers.
8-14. This was close until we got to that first technical timeout, wherein the Chargers went on a 6-0 run. Akari with a badly needed point earlier, but the defense of the Highrisers,
still alive,
allowing them to make those types of plays. It's back with them. Coronel to Jewel. Scramble for the Chargers. It's out. It's out for Sultones.
But again, effort for defense. And I'm seeing the game plan probably of Galeries Tower. They're trying to hasten the pace of the game. So when they're retrieving the ball, the bump sets are low with spin, and the hitters are just ready. They're not complaining.
15-8 is the score. Soyud gets one. Quiet in the set, gets her first point in set number 3. Points have been hard to come by for the Chargers. Ezra Madrigal will check in for Camille Victoria. Coach Taka just looking to change up the energy right now of the Chargers.
Yeah. Well, you're saying Soyud a bit quiet because she hasn't been getting a whole lot of sets.
Yeah, just 1 point also for her in this set. Jimenez, it goes in.
Into the block.
As they bring us to the second technical timeout, Galeries Tower are up by 7.
Bitin na kaya sa games? Watch all the replays on PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe!
SB Finance, ang BFF na malalapitan. As we're back inside the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig. A commanding 7-point lead put up by the Galeries Tower Highrisers against an Akari Chargers squad that has been trying to figure things out. It looked like they were fine after set 2, but right now in set 3, they are looking for answers.
Yeah. And Galeries just smooth sailing.
The save. Nice dive from Encarnacion. Back set to Soyud. As she connects
10-16.
for her 11th point of the match.
Yeah, why not go to Soyud? She has been steady today. Not much sets for her in set 3.
Ezra Madrigal.
Down by 6 points are the Chargers. Madrigal with a serve. Coronel back sets. Covered by Julia. Eroa goes back to Isa. Chance here. Sultones short on the attack.
17-10.
A little hop, but not enough to get it through.
Yeah, but you know, you can't falter for wanting to attack, but it is the timing.
Serving for Galeries Tower.
17-10 is the score. Soyud again. As you mentioned, she has been that go-to and delivering another point for Akari.
Yeah, they need a couple of stops right here. You want to chase if you're Akari.
Serving for the Chargers.
11 serving 17 here in set 3. Coronel goes to Baliton. Eroa still got a touch.
Ball is out. 12-17.
A good effort, but back-to-back points for Akari Chargers.
Substitution. Akari.
Good send back there for
7.
Akari.
In. 6 out.
Cal and Bustrillo will
In.
check back in. Same substitution that happened back in set 1.
Camille Cal. Serving for the Chargers.
Well, they need good serves from Cal.
12-17. Coronel goes to Ronquillo. Soltones able to save. Back with the black shirts. Ronquillo again breaks the block.
Right, you see what I'm saying? The quick shoot sets, and the hitters are just ready. Look how fast.
Well, that is a good looking set.
Right? No, and also Ronquillo. We talked about how light she looks when
Yeah.
she gets up.
So she can go up for a second and third attempt consecutively. And saving those balls. Joust trickles back to the side of Galeries Tower. At the best bump set for Encarnacion, but doesn't matter. As Encarnacion gets 12 points. Her 12th point of the match to lead all Galeries Tower scores. But right behind her, I mean, Balitona has 11. This lady right now has 10. 3 players already in double digits for the Highrisers.
And can you imagine if Isa Jimenez can get going?
Substitution.
Lisperos coming in for Soltones.
5 out, 17. Lisperos.
You know, you can really sense that Akari's really trying to find chemistry, you know, with the 6 that Coach Taka puts in.
Yeah. It's a puzzle that he's trying to solve in this game. But right now, they have the pieces, talking about the Galeries Tower Highrisers.
All systems go. And we keep talking about Jewel Encarnacion, and why not?
Carly Hernandez will serve 20-13. This is their biggest lead of the set at 7. Postrillo gets one in. First point for Steph Postrillo.
Yeah, and these are the contributions you want to see from the bench. You know, Coach Taka makes a substitution. He trusts you. You're going to get the chance. You got to deliver.
Coronel had to send it over. Steph does the same. Eroa will bump set to Coronel, who goes for the attack. Popped up by Laxina. Cal goes to Bustrillo. Ronquillo with a steady save. They go to Jimenez. Bit of a miss hit. Battle there. Play continues. To the middle they go.
Oh, still alive.
Nice save there by Domingo. Marzan.
Mars.
Changing things up on the drop.
Boy, you know, that's really great setting also on the part of Coronel. That's so smart. And this is the rotation they like.
Yeah, full front line. Eroa with a save. Coronel back sets to Jimenez. And as you mentioned, they want to get her going. She now has 5.
And this is where they want to pull away. Julia Coronel serving tough, giving all sorts of problems to Akari's first pass.
This is their biggest lead of the set and of the game. That serve making it hard for the first ball of Akari. Marzan again. This time it's out.
Oh, that's such a welcome error for Akari because everything looked good except for that shot.
Substitution. Akari, 4 out, 6. Cobb, hit. 7 out, 24.
Bit of a steep hill to climb here for the Chargers, who are trying to inch their way up. As the starters are back on the floor, Michelle Cabo serve 15-22. Encarnacion
Drop shot, Encarnacion.
gets another one for the Highrisers, and she now has 14 points.
You know what's really admirable about Encarnacion? You've seen her mature in such a short span of time.
Yeah.
Right? The way she makes decisions.
Her second conference only.
Exactly.
Oh, Nisperos fires one up.
we know that's what she can do. The question is, why just now for Faith Nisperos? We remember when she played for the national team and she would come off the bench and score that way. We know the talent.
Yeah. She now will serve for the Chargers. Coronel goes to Ronquillo, sent back. Eroa says it's mine, goes back to Ronquillo. Wala pa rin. Third try.
Off the head.
Yeah,
Oh!
strong hit. And a collision between the teammates as Jimenez apologizes. And the Highrisers are now at set point. Akari calls for a timeout.
Make sure possible again. We have a meeting. Make it higher. Possible. Okay. We don't have a time. We don't need to make it a hurry. Okay. Make it time.
Huwag tayong bumitaw sa block.
Okay.
Wala. Let's go.
Prepare tayo ha. Prepare for next set.
Guys, maglaro tayo. Tara. Akari Chargers! Duh!
Timeout called by the Akari Chargers, who are trailing by 8 points. Hasn't found something to stop this lady right here, Jewel Encarnacion.
And we've seen a couple, I think 3 collisions on the side of Akari, which goes to show the communication problems, the struggles, you know, in trying to retrieve the ball. It has to come out actually in practice.
Yeah.
And you apply it during games.
Soyud will try. Chance here to close this one out. Coronel goes to Jimenez. There's a net touch on an Akari Charger, which means Galeries Tower will close this one out and get set number 3.
That's a great response for Galleries after losing set number 2. They prevail easily, relatively easily in set number 3.
They pulled away. They are now up 2 sets to 1 in hopes of forcing a do-or-die game number 3.
Player highlights, we got you covered. Subscribe now to the PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe!
Back inside the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig for your 2025 PVL All-Filipino Conference Quarterfinals bout between the Akari Chargers and the Galeries Tower Highrisers. And set 3 belonged to the Highrisers, who are really playing so well in this game, Noreen. Out to prove that that win in the qualifier round wasn't a fluke and that they are ready to force this one into a third and final game.
Well, that third set really showed the attitude of Galleries. We have to say, yeah, they may have lost set number 2, but they came back in set number 3. How did they do it? It's really team effort. Defense, back to basic. Coronel, great setting. Everyone just ready. We saw that in set number 3. Look at how the way they out-attack Akari, you know, by double. And that made all the difference. Plus, their floor defense, we saw that the way they kept the ball in play. Then we saw the struggles of Akari, collisions, miscue. You know, they let the ball fall. These are the things they have to address come set 4. And remember, they won game number 1 in the battle of the best of 3 between these two.
Yeah.
They were in the same position. They were down 2 sets to 1. They came back. Do they have enough gas in the tank to do so here in game number 2?
Yeah, or do they have enough battery in their charge, diba? That is what we'll find out here in set number 4. But as you mentioned, they have done it in game number 1 last Saturday. And they're looking to do that once again as we welcome you back to our coverage on One Sports, on One Sports Plus, and on Pilipinas Live. Dip Dipianco with Noreen Go. Covering this match with Carla Castillo as our courtside reporter.
Also a huge question for Akari. Will Ivy Laksina emerge here in set number 4? All-important set because it is a must-win for Akari.
And so far, it's been Soyud who has been leading the way for them. It's out for Ronquillo. First point goes to Akari.
You know, also, one thing I noticed from the Galeries Highrisers, they've been targeting Hazareno in the first pass. Hazareno has been struggling today, unable to give, you know, the perfect normal passes of Hazareno. So let's see what gives here in set number 4.
Ronquillo again. Oh, there's a net violation on a Charger, which means point awarded to Galeries Tower.
I think it's on Soyud. Lucky break for Galeries.
Serving for Galeries Tower.
Laksina. Marzan able to stretch Ronquillo.
Oh, good save.
On the extension, Soyud. One hand save coming from Coronel. It goes back to her. Marzan sets up the play to Jimenez. Good cover by the Highrisers. Nisperos does the same. Cobb to Ivy.
Oh, good save.
Oh, Julia has been steady at the back.
Oh.
And a point for Jimenez.
What a rally. I mean, everybody was trying to keep the ball in play, but Jimenez just manages it to push it through the blockers. Barely.
Oh, look at that persistence paying off for the Galeries Tower team. Tough set for Cobb to Laksina, but she rewards that effort from her teammate.
A better start for Ivy Laksina. Let us see if it's going to be throughout the set because they need her output, really. Akari needs Ivy Laksina to score.
2-2 here in set number 4. Julia goes to Baliton. Heroa was there, but Baliton couldn't put it up properly.
Yeah, that was Madrigal reading that well. Great net defense.
Coronel goes to Ronquillo, popped up by Laksina. Cobb on the back set to Soyud. Julia, the toss to Ronquillo. Hazareno bump set. Naabangan ng blockers ng Highrisers. Nisperos. Heroa did not need to move.
Long rally alert.
Play continues. Ball is still alive. And Soyud with a bomb, but Coronel
still alive
with a save. Nisperos. Finally, it drops. That point earned by the Chargers as we go to Carla Castillo for this report.
Dip and Noreen, Justin Hazareno likens their path to the semifinals to that of a boat in surging seas. Now, while it's tough to smoothly sail to the semis island, Justin Hazareno is taking on the defensive captain role bilang gusto niyang magsimula sa kanya ang magandang diskarte at plays. Coming into this 4th set, Coach Taka is not happy. The Akari Chargers were firmly reminded that this game, power matters. Iwas-iwasan daw ang drop ball, crediting the defense of Galeries, even saying, ipisan yan kung di pepensa. nila. What the coaches are asking from the spikers now ay pumalo lang ng pumalo. At most importantly, ibalik ang sigla, energy sa loob ng court. Dip and Noreen?
Thank you, Kyla, for that report. Another long rally. The point goes to the Highrisers. And going back to that report of Kyla, as first we see this play set up for Isa Jimenez. Yung term na ipisan, diba? We know that they will play scrappy. Talking about the Highrisers, they will get to those loose balls, dive and sacrifice, which is why Coach Taka was saying, di pwedeng puro simpleng attack. We have to put power in that.
Yep. But we're seeing it now, from Laksina, from Faith Esperos. But they have to be consistent.
Kept up by the Chargers. The push, it's inside for Eli Soyud.
Smart. That's what they can do. Change things up. Read your opponent's defense. Always, we say a point is a point.
2-point lead for the Chargers. Ezra Madrigal with a serve. Coronel goes to Ronquillo. Checked. Cobb looks at the options. Back sets to Soyud.
Oh.
And down it goes for Eli Soyud.
Boy, she has been the go-to, we have to say, since set number 1.
Talk about strong spikes. She can deliver.
I remember when the first time I learned of Soyud, she was still with LaSalle. She had so much potential that kind of mellowed out. But that's the player I remembered her to be.
And then transferred
to Adamson.
Meanwhile, Ronquillo did not hear a lot about her back in college, but she is making noise here in the PVL. Comes up short on that serve, though.
Boy, not a time for these errors from Franz Ronquillo. Again, their success is when everybody is steady, right? And then you have somebody committing errors.
That is long and a service error. But still up by 2 points are the Chargers.
Serving for Galeries Tower.
Marcel Baliton a serve.
Cobb. And the setup to Nisperos. More of those is what Coach Taka Minoa wants as Akari brings us to the first technical timeout. They're up by 3.
Na-miss nyo ba yung game namin? Kung na-miss nyo, subscribe na to our YouTube channel. Subscribe na!
Updates on starting lineup Mondays to Fridays, 6:30 p.m. live on the Pilipinas Live app and One News, also available on One Sports and One Sports Plus. Ivy Laksina and the Akari Chargers looking to get this set number 4 and force a decider of a 5th set. But the Galeries Tower Highrisers, they want another match.
They want to finish it in 4 sets because if you learn from the previous match, you know Akari has the capability to come back and actually win the match. But you know, we're looking at Akari, that's why they're successful here in the 4th set, is because they're retrieving balls. They're not letting the balls just drop.
Yeah.
And that's making all the difference.
Right, and Encarnacion scores 1 for the Highrisers. bump set coming from Isa Jimenez.
Yeah, much needed. Again, the strength of the Galeries Highrisers is doesn't matter what set they get.
Yes.
They just try to make do.
By the way, Fen Emnas is the setter right now for Galeries Tower in set 4 rather. That drops in for Camille Victoria.
Yeah, now everyone is contributing for Akari, we have to say. Great setting by Kopp.
For the Chargers.
Protecting this 3-point advantage. That's a short serve. Jimenez able to reach. Easy over. Cobb goes for the 1-2. Nobody home as she gets her 3rd point of the match.
Great timing by Mitch Cobb.
Dumping that ball. Good for a 4-point lead. Timeout called by Coach Lerma Hiron.
Ang kulang lang talaga natin, in-game adjustment. Magkakaroon lang ng in-game adjustment. If you know kung ano yung ginagawa ng kalaban. Yun na nga, Coach, kahit anong bigay kasi namin technical sa inyong bigay na instruction, if hindi nyo nakikita kung saan nakaharap ang spiker, ito yung spiker, andito ka. O, paano ka nga makakablock yan? Ito nga, you need to be at the moment, dahan-dahanin nyo, isa-isa. Tingnan nyo kung anong ginagawa ng kalaban.
Balikat, tingnan nyo. Galeries! Side out tayo!
Timeout called by Galeries Tower, who are trailing by 4 points. Coach Lerma telling her players to read the plays of their opponents. Hasn't happened here in set 4. Eroa able to send it over, but a free ball. Cobb goes to the running spike of Ezra Madrigal. And Akari now has their biggest lead of the set. End of the game at 5.
Well, you can see the confidence of Akari. I mean, it's so different from the first 3 sets. Even in the second set wherein they won. Now the confidence, everyone's just attacking and attacking, retrieving balls and attacking.
Emnas goes to Encarnacion. 16 points and counting.
Well, if we talked about Soyud as being the go-to, Encarnacion has been the one for Galeries. Now she's at the back. The ones in front, a full front row has to step up.
7-11. Good first ball by Faith. Cobb goes to Soyud.
Oh, good dig.
Popped up by Emnas. Eroa, the bump set. Ronquillo. Cobb with a push. Emnas read that one. Jimenez on the second take. Ronquillo. Kept alive by Mitch Cobb. Laxina with a stutter step. Both teams reading the attacks.
Oh, still alive.
Faith with a dig. And the attack. Buhay pa. Another try for the Chargers. But a push. Eroa saves it. Play continues. It's another long rally alert. Madrigal.
Still alive.
Jimenez. Still nothing. Oh, this has been ongoing up until that point. And Madrigal finally ends that one.
You know, that has been what's going right for Akari. They're keeping in step with the scrappiness of Galeries, right? The balls, the rallies are longer, and then they get that point.
The players huffing and puffing now
Yeah.
after that one. That took a lot from them. But this lull momentarily allows them to breathe. Cobb is ready to serve now with 20 excellent sets.
What a serve.
Ronquillo, sharp hit.
She needed that. I was going to say Ronquillo needed that. Again, off a missed receive, they still score the point.
Nice play there coming from Emnas. Soyud, Jimenez, Emnas with the effort, but Jewel slips. And Marzan wasn't able to move as the point goes to Akari.
Wasted opportunity on the side of Galeries. That was gettable. That was playable. And you laud the effort of Fen Emnas here.
Back to a 5-point lead for the Chargers. Emnas, Ronquillo again, Laksina with a get. Esperos doesn't go over.
That didn't cross.
That was a missed set also coming from Cobb.
9.
Well, this is when Galleries, you want to chase because you don't want Akari to bring you to a 5th set.
Yeah.
Serving for Galeries Tower.
8 points for Isa Jimenez. Had 13 in game number 1 against the Chargers. Chance. Eroa picks it up. Fen on the setup to Ronquillo.
Good dig.
Esperos, check. Fen Emnas on the back set to Baliton. Off the block.
The hit out. Baliton.
She's been asking for that set ever since the rally started. And she finally gets it, and that's why she was asking for it.
And prior to that point, Noreen, that was her first point of the set. She has scored at least 3 points in each set.
That's already a great contribution for middle blockers. Yeah. Ooh.
Free ball, but Soyud couldn't get it over.
Ball is short. 11.
Lead now down to just 2 points.
Substitution.
Well, they've been having problems with their first pass.
Which is why enter Gretchen Soltones for some floor defense.
Yeah, and much needed stability.
It goes to her. Rightfully so. Soyud. Eroa couldn't control. Jimenez.
Save the
team. What an effort for Isa Jimenez to keep the ball alive. But Nesperos sends that ball into the stands.
On the hit out.
Nesperos is a party pooper. Because, all celebrations, because Galleries kept that ball alive. Look at the save. But then Nesperos says, that's it. That's it.
Eroa sets up Franz. Cobb says it's mine. Can they execute properly? Baliton again.
Off the hand of Nesperos.
Off the blockers.
12 to 14.
13 points for Rosel Baliton, tied with Franz Ronquillo.
You know what you really appreciate from Baliton? She's really asking for it.
Yeah.
When you hear coaches during huddle say, hingi kayo bola, that is a perfect example.
She has already surpassed her output in game number 1. Soyud, too strong.
Ball is out. 13,
Lead continues
14.
to dwindle, down to 1.
Akari's got to check their errors. No challenge. They know it was really a hitting error.
13 to 14. Cobb, Nesperos, and Ronquillo couldn't get there. Couldn't backpedal in time, and Faith delivers a timely point.
Eroa was on her way, and she stopped because she saw that it was gettable by Ronquillo. She probably said, I should have gone for it.
Elisoy serving for Akari.
15 to 13. Encarnacion.
Good save.
Kept alive the push. Extension by Victoria. Baliton. Oh, nice save. A chicken wing. Let out of the bag of tricks by Victoria to keep the ball alive. Emnas on the 1-2.
Oh! 1-2 play.
That's why she's
14,
there, for that
15.
element of surprise. Chicken wing.
Yeah, look at that. It looked like one.
Yeah.
See?
There. But you appreciate the effort of the girls.
Serving for the Highrisers.
Baka nagugutom na yung mga fans
Pati yung players.
after dinner time. But no complaints as we are seeing quality volleyball right now. Push. Chance for the Chargers. Victoria. Emnas with a dive. Jewel. Cobb looks at the options. Wants to go to Nesperos.
Oh.
Set back. Cobb shouting, it's mine. Play continues. Encarnacion.
Oh, what a day!
Oh, what a save, but
We're tied
wasted.
at 15.
Saved by Hazareno because someone touched the net.
I think they call it on Victoria. I think,
Oh, that is huge.
yeah.
Because
Akari
that ties the
Chargers.
game at 15 all. And Akari calls for time.
Go on. Now get you also not to touch net. Make sure.
Yeah.
Your brains calm down. But you how this should be going to fall. Okay, 1 point tayo. It's okay, Shipa. Speed yan. Go to cover. We have a lot of attackers. Go on.
Yeah.
Ate, tapatan natin yung eagerness ng galleries. Hindi sila nagpapatay ng bola, hinihintay nila tayo magkamali. Let's go. Kapitan natin nila to.
Walang ihinto.
Isa lang. Up to 16. Akari Chargers!
Tied game at set number 4. Arguably the fastest we're seeing from both of these teams. They are going at it.
I agree. It's faster
Serving for the
paced,
Highrisers.
Yeah.
Number 12.
better
Marcel
defense.
Alisa.
They have picked up the pace for sure. Can the Galeries Tower Highrisers get the lead? Nispero says no.
Nisperos.
As we go to the second technical timeout, the Chargers are up by 1. But wait a minute.
Challenge on the top floor by Galeries Tower.
There's a challenge put up
Ball
by
out.
the coaching staff of Galeries Tower. Ball in or out of the attack of Nisperos.
It looked good from where
Yeah.
we're sitting.
I agree. Well, let's see.
But they're closer
Yeah.
to the line.
Ball in, ball out. For a team that wants to close this one out. Yeah. Far corner for Faith Nisperos. It drops in. Challenge is unsuccessful for the Highrisers as we go
For Galeries
to the
Tower.
second technical timeout.
To our second technical timeout. 16. 15. Galeries Tower.
Bitin na kayo sa games? Watch all the replays on PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe!
Back inside the Phil Sports Arena, the Akari Chargers are up by 1 point over the Galeries Tower Highrisers in this quarter-final matchup. With the Akari Chargers up in the series 1-0. A win here would
End of the second.
make them advance to the semifinals, but some confusion there on the part of the Chargers as they avoid a violation. Coach Lerma pointing it out. First on the service and then Hazareno replacing.
Yeah, during the
Madrigal.
rally.
Yeah.
That's
And that shouldn't have been allowed. That was already a live ball. Oh, this will make things a bit complicated here in set 4.
yeah, that should be probably a referee's challenge.
Yeah. As there was a change-up in the service. I think it was Madrigal and then Esperos replaced her, and then Madrigal went out for Hazareno to come in. Let's check out what happened there. Si Nesperos, sorry, that was actually Camille Victoria, who went back to her position, and Madrigal was ready to head out for Hazareno, but play was already served.
Yeah, so the ball is in play, and then you see the switch up. Hazareno came in.
So double switch, no? From Victoria at the service line, Nesperos remembers it's her turn to serve, and then Madrigal looks at the bench.
I've never seen this. Now, let's add spice to the game. Let's make some changes during the rally.
Every game we see something new.
Yeah.
So Galeries Tower challenging this one. The officials are discussing. Again, that serve was already in before Hazareno set foot on the court. So let's see what the call will be. Highrisers up 2-1 here. They don't want a 5th set anymore, but Akari Chargers have led majority of set number 4. But again, this could change things. That confusion on the side of the Chargers might affect their movement moving forward.
Any error can actually change things, I agree, but the confusion, even we're confused because it's the first time we've actually experienced this. So, learning experience for you and I.
First referee Mark Santos will talk with Mitch Cobb.
Tapos nagkulang kayo. Hindi, kinorek nyo, di ba? Tapos serve lumabas yung isa, kulang kayo. Wrong position talaga.
Pero bakit di po kayo
Hindi nga namin hindi nakita kasi sumunod ako sa bola. Hindi, okay na yun. Nag-review kami. Hindi, nag-review kami.
Dapat po, kayo po nag-whistle, di ba?
Oo nga, nakaserve ka na. Nag-serve. Wala naman challenge na ginawa eh.
Hindi sila po nag-ganun eh.
Walang challenge na ginawa.
Sila yung pumito ganun.
Kami yung ano doon.
Sila po. Wala pong pumito, sorry. Dapat maliin niyo po yun. Opo, pero hindi po kayo nag-bounce. Hindi po kayo pumito. Sila po yung nag-bounce. Sila po yun.
So we are hearing the conversation between Michelle Cobb and first referee Mark Santos.
Dip, you need a lawyer. Do you need a lawyer, Mitch Cobb?
Bakit ang tagal? Delay yung game na rin ako.
Players, doon na. Okay na, positional fault yung inano namin. Nag-correct sa amin. Sige na.
So that wraps up the conversation, the explanation, the argumentation, whatever you call it. But point will be given to the Galeries Tower Highrisers due to
positional fault. Due to illegal entry. We saw that. The ball, they served the ball and Hazareno came in. There's nothing right about that.
Yeah.
17 doon, 10, 6, 3. 5 pala, sorry. 5, libero. 24, ayan na.
Okay na, ready.
So we are tied officially at 16 all. After that lull, we resume set number 4.
Yeah.
And as explained to us, special case. Because again, we've never seen that happen.
On a team that's actually serving.
So we are all tied up at 16 apiece. That is inside for Sultones.
17-16.
Boy, you know, Gretchen Sultones doesn't start a lot of sets, but you know, when they need her, she really delivers. Look at that, just clip the line. Good pass.
That is picked up by Nisperos, the Victoria. Push by Cobb. Yeroa with the first ball. Emnas. The setup to Encarnacion. And it's inside for her 17th point. We are tied at 17 all.
They like the fast, low sets, I have to say, even though you see how much effort Encarnacion puts in terms of moving her shoulder. It's not stretched. They'll take the point.
If you're not used to it, you would think medyo bitin, diba? But they are right on time. Encarnacion with the effort. Chance for the white shirts. Cobb. The outstretched arm of Madrigal keeps the ball alive. Soltones giving it her all on that attempt.
18-17.
I mean, yeah, Soltones just twisted in midair, but the miscue of Galeries has got to hurt. Boy, important points for Rachel Soltones.
Made sure that she got a contact on that ball. Whatever happens, 18-17. Emnas, set up, Ronquillo! Down it goes for France Ronquillo. Another tied game at 18 all.
Yeah, this is where Galeries gets really deadly when everyone is contributing. If you're Akari, you want some of those net defense, some of those monster blocks we saw in the earlier set.
Carly Hernandez enters to serve.
Good serve.
Cobb on a kneeling set to Madrigal. Chance.
Whoa!
But blocked. Ronquillo rejected by Eli Soyud.
Boy, that's what we said. They needed these stops, and none other than Eli Soyud has had a monster game for Akari.
Serving for the Chargers.
Still anyone's set.
Emnas back sets. Jimenez. Nisperos with a block. And a 2-point lead for Akari.
Well, that is a luxury here.
Look at her. Get one more look. She's all business here. Timeout for the Highrisers.
Ang daming long ball. Ha? Ano bang usapan nyo dyan? Ikaw na magpupunta dito. Sa cross. O, kailangan muna natin pumasa. Tatlong spiker dyan. Pwede ka magpa-combine dyan, tapos opposite setting tayo. Again, huwag ilapit sa net para makadiskarte sila. Ngayon, kung malapit sa net, diskartehan nyo na. Wala na magagawa yung setter dun eh.
Let's go.
Coverage tayo, ha? Coverage tayo.
Kaya pa yan, kaya pa. Hey, Galeries!
Timeout called by Coach Lerma Hero and her team, down by 2 points.
Serving for the Chargers, number 5, Gretchen.
Soltones serving 20-18. Baliton.
Good D.
Rachel was there. Faith again. She is rallying her team late in set number 4. Now with 12 points. 7 of those here in this set.
And this is the same energy we felt in set number 2.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it was close until the 20s, then that surge by Akari.
And you were quite confused. It disappeared in set 3, but now it's back. And Jimenez comes up short in a 4-point lead for the Chargers.
Well, maybe it's about time to bring back Julia Coronel. You want some blocking if you can, if she's in front.
Substitution, Galeries Tower, 3 out, 7, Pacres, in.
Dim Pacres is entering for the first time in the game.
Service.
They stick with Emnas as their setter. Finn goes to Baliton, saved by Cobb. Ellie was there. Hazareno gives up a free ball. Emnas goes to Demi. The tip. An instant impact off the bench for Demi Pacres.
You know, I love that drop because she knows she's cold off the bench. So her approach isn't 100%, so I'll just try to get it in, and she gets the point.
And look at that, just doing what she was asked to do. Probably even more than what she was asked to do with that point.
Let's see how huge that point's going to be for Galeries.
So now Coronel is back on the floor with Isa Jimenez in this chance for a late comeback. And it starts with a defensive stop. Back-to-back points for the Highrisers.
So Sel Baliton, height is might. Look at that.
Sinungkit lang eh.
Yeah.
Didn't even have to jump as she was already on the floor. Nisperos again. As it goes for Faith Nisperos. She has been tremendous here in the fourth set.
She likes these close parts of the set. That's where she shines.
This is a 3-point lead. Ronquillo, Encarnacion, but that goes over. Kari will try to take advantage. Soyud! She scores that one and puts Akari at set point.
Well, we did anticipate this match going the distance, and we're probably gonna have it.
1 point away from taking us to the 28th fifth setter in the 2025 PVL All-Filipino Conference. Coronel with a save. Eroa, bump set. Ronquillo, chance for the Chargers. Cobb to Faith, and down it goes.
We are going the distance in this match yet again.
Look at this setup by Mitch Cobb to Nisperos, who flies in and gets that final point for the Chargers. She has 14 in total, but more importantly, the Chargers extend this one and force a set number 5.
Player highlights, we got you covered. Subscribe now to the PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe!
What a conference. What a game day. 2 5-setters. We did not disappoint. Really, all these matches so important to all these teams. Again, similar to their first encounter. Galeries had a foot in the door, winning 2 sets, or ahead 2 sets to 1, but then Akari just came charging in the 4th set and eventually got the 5th. Will it be the same ending today, or will Galeries rewrite the story? We will see. Akari just stepped on the gas or charged their batteries towards the end of that 4th set. Faith Nisperos was on fire. You know, Akari just really wanted to push this to 5 sets, and they got it. Galeries just had to make changes, but it was not enough. Let's look at some numbers. Attacks, Akari 19-13. Blocking went their way. Even though they had more errors, they made up for that in terms of in attacks and in blocking. So as a whole, really, Akari just came together towards that end of that 4th set. Rachel Sultanes, her presence always felt. And yeah, Dip Dipianco, we are going the distance.
This was inevitable.
Yeah, yeah.
We knew before the game that this could go into 5 sets. Both teams pushing each other to the limit and wanting to get this victory for the Galeries Tower Highrisers, who have really exceeded expectations They want to play another game. For the Akari Chargers, they want another semifinals appearance here in the PVL as we are all set to begin the 5th and final set here in our game number 2, the quarterfinals between Akari and Galeries Tower. We thank you all for sticking with us this entire night on One Sports, on One Sports Plus, and on Pilipinas Live. Dip Dipianco with Naringo calling this match. Kyla Castillo at the sidelines as we await the winner of this battle.
You know, the thing is, come this 5th set, you don't see anyone has any advantage. Because really, it's which team prevails towards the end. You know, I mean, it's plain and simple. In terms of numbers, it's pretty even, really.
Now we begin. We are underway. And first point goes to Eli Soyud, who now has 18 points in the game.
Boy, you love this gang or this crew of Coach Taka. You know, making up for the pretty much quiet performance of Ivy Lacsina, right? Fifi Sharma went down with an ankle roll. So, yeah, I mean, we're still in the 5th set.
And France Ronquillo responds quickly. Now with 15 points. Look at that nice looking attack coming from Ronquillo.
Very patented Ronquillo, the light attack.
Soltones, it drops. She came off the bench but has played well para sa Akari Chargers. Not just in offense but also in defense.
Yeah, agree. I mean, really quality performance always by Gretchen Soltones. And again, we remind the viewers, she is coming off injuries. So it's not an easy journey for Gretchen Soltones.
Coronel is now back on the floor. She went back late in set number 4, this time starting out set number 5. Along with the usual starters of Coach Lerma. So 2s across the board. 2-all in sets, 2-all in score. Here in this all-important game number 2. Cobb, back set, Soyud with a blockbuster.
Yeah, you know, they really got to go to Soyud because she has been so consistent today. But for Galleries, you don't want to play this nip and tuck affair kind of set. So far, if you base it on today's match alone, you want to have that lead if you want to win the match. The nip and tuck affair goes to Akari.
And Eli Soyud now with 19 points. Ties her output in that game number 1 against Galeries Tower, and an error for the Highrisers puts Akari up by 2.
That's not gonna help, you know, in a very close match. You gotta make your, well, they give it right back, but you gotta make your opponents earn the point, you know, don't give it.
Galing Ezra Madrigal, coaching staff telling her to settle down, take your time. This is gonna be a quick set 5. And speaking of taking time and relaxing, France Ronquillo unable to send that serve in.
Well, Galleries, they have to settle down. I think the nerves getting to them. A couple of errors at the start, and you don't want that.
5 serving 3. Coronel goes to Encarnacion. It's short. And a timeout will be called by Coach Lerma Hiron as they try to get back here in set 5.
Ako muna. Hanggat hindi nyo nararamdaman na gusto nyong magkaroon kayo ng intensyon sa ginagawa ninyo at maging matapang kayo, hindi tayo mananalo dyan. Kahit anong iba tong instruction sa inyo, hindi nyo magagawa. Kasi bakit? Mahina ang loob. Dito patatagan kung sino ang matapang, sino ang malakas mag-isip, sino ang marunong mag-isip, sino ang kayang kontrolin ng utak, siya ang mananalo.
Okay.
Ha? Hindi pwede ang ganyan.
Kasalanan natin kung bakit tayo dito sa 5th set. Kung nilaban natin ng 4th set, okay
this point of the game, it is a mental aspect. We've seen Galeries Tower win sets over this team against the Akari Chargers, both in game 1, again taking the lead 2-1 in this game number 2. But Coach Lerma was emphasizing that right now, you have to want it. You have to be ready and be steady in this set number 5.
Yeah, and then that term, tibay ng loob, that is so true.
Yeah. And that's something, by the way, that you can only learn through experience, right? And this is a young team that's experiencing this for the first time in their young franchise. Ronquillo picked up by Soyud. Cobb set up to Nisperos. It's out.
That's a welcome point for Galleries. They needed that error from Akari, although you don't want, if you're a Galleries fan, that you're getting points off errors.
Yeah, that is a sigh of relief. Otherwise, it would have been a 4-point lead for the Chargers, which they actually had, similar to game number 1, 4-6. Service is in. Victoria. It's a point for the Chargers, as Baliton claims she didn't touch it.
But there's no challenge for that, right? The last touch.
Yeah, there's none. You can only challenge block touch at the net unless the referee calls for his own challenge.
Yeah, I think Coach Lerma and the coaching staff know that there's no challenge for that.
Unless they demand and really ask for one, but call stays and point given to the Chargers. Baliton now on the bench, still talking to her teammates, saying hindi niya nahawakan.
Oh, what a dig.
That was dug up by Nisperos. The attack by Jewel. Ronquillo picks it up. Coronel to Encarnacion. Play continues. Julia with a push. Cobb sets up Soltones on the drop. And she connects. As the Chargers are up by 4. And we get this report now from Kyla Castillo. Kyla?
Yes, Deb, Chargers up by 4. They are very much eager to close this one out. But standing tall in their way are the Galeries Tower Highrisers. Now in this deciding set, Coach Lerma Hiron asked for composure in the huddle. She said, tanggapin at yakapin na natin ang pressure. Now more than ever, kailangan ng puso. Kailangan patunayan na hindi tayo Galeries lang. Meanwhile, on the other side of the court is a feisty Gretchen Soltones telling her teammates, huwag na natin to pakawalan. There was also the reminder of Mitch Cobb na kung kayang bumarog, barogin na ang bawat bola. She also demanded extra effort from the net whilst minimizing their errors. The ghosts of Game 1 haunt the arena, but will the outcome of this game be any different? Dip Penarine?
Thank you, Kyla. Excellent report on that, putting it into context of what Akari is going through. They want to get over the hump, and they're looking good here in set 5 with that Hazareno save. Soltones' attack was also picked up. Hazareno with another save. The push.
Chance.
Julia. Coronel, the setup to Marzan. Nothing there. Nisperos.
Oh, good dig.
Popped up by Eroa. Encarnacion. Still no. Soltones will try.
Oh!
Wow.
Come on! You know, that is what Coach Lerma exactly, what she meant by tibay ng loob. And you know, Soltones has that.
And what Mitch Cobb said to her teammates, barogin na lahat ng atake. No letting up. They're now up by 5. Encarnacion breaks the block.
If they can muster some strength, they still have that fight in them. They want to chase right now.
Five to 9 is the score. Cobb looks at the options, goes back to Soltones. Naibalik ni Jimenez.
Oh.
Push. Chance for the black shirts. Encarnacion.
Oh!
That drops. Second guessing on that defense by Nisperos and Soyud, and point goes to the Highrisers. Timeout for Akari.
Tuloy lang. Okay, sa'yo tayo isang.
Isa pa. Uulit yun. Uulit yun. Uulitin niya na. Just take over.
Timeout called this time by the Chargers, who were up by 5 points, but back-to-back scored by Galeries Tower. They are not giving up just yet.
And you know, these miscues, it's really a waste because they were there. Just some shout-outs probably.
Cobb, kneeling set to Soltones, popped up by Coronel. Eroa with a bump to Encarnacion. And that doesn't go over for Akari. And 3 straight points for the Highrisers to cut the lead down to 2. Encarnacion now has 20.
Again, they need to want this, and if they know they have that fight back, yeah, I mean, just believe that they're still in this match.
7-9. And again, this is the rotation that Coach Lerma would want. With a full front line, Julia Coronel as the server. There will be a change on the side of the Chargers. Camille Cal, Steph Bustrillo will check in. We have seen that similar substitution all throughout this match.
Interesting at this point of the match, but yeah, I mean, if you can have fresh legs, could be an advantage.
7-9. The best first ball there, Victoria. Called for a double contact.
That was clear.
4 straight points now for Galeries Tower. And they cut the lead down to a single point.
And if you will recall, in set number 3, this was the rotation that they like.
Cal, back sets, Bustrillo, picked up by Ronquillo. Encarnacion, off the block, and she ties the game up at 9-all.
Well, former teammates going at it, and Encarnacion hits it off. Bustrillo.
By the way, this is her career high, now with 21 points.
She has arrived.
Deadlock at 9 apiece. Soltones does the same off the block. Gets the lead back for Akari Chargers.
Case in point, really, no? The attitude of Soltones, admirable. Unfazed by the blockers.
Victoria with a serve. Coronel chooses Encarnacion, a bit of a low set. Cal, back to Gretschel, down it goes. As she gets it in for a 2-point lead. And the Chargers are 4 points away from advancing. And timeout called by the Highrisers.
Ha? Magbasa tayo. Pag nagbabasa tayo, nakakadepensa tayo. So, kailangan natin dumipensa para makakapit. Okay? O, dahan-dahanin natin. Tayo ang pasa ngayon. Ilan ang spiker sa harapan? 3. Paikot tayo, opposite setting tayo. Jewel, kalmahan lang natin. Ha? Pag kalmado ka, nakikita mo yung sync na traffic.
Akari Chargers holding on to this 2-point lead. Trying to repeat what they did in game number 1. Coming back down from 2 sets to 1. And that is through.
That's Isa Jimenez. Yeah. What a time for her to score. Again, we say it's better late than never.
Yeah. 9 points. 1 point away from being the 4th high riser in double digits.
What a serve.
Cal.
Oh.
That's tough. Ronquillo couldn't take advantage. Allows Cal to set up once more. Eroa gets there. Coronel back set to Jimenez. kept alive by the Chargers. Soltones, it's short. And another tied game at 11-all.
Boy, nerves setting in even with the great ones. Soltones buries that into the net. Boy, this is anyone's game.
Set number 5 couldn't get any better. We are tied at 11-all. 19 points. Officially for Encarnacion. Oh, that was a gimme.
12.
But couldn't get it for Marzan.
That is the biggest wasted opportunity for Galleries. But, you know, we have to say, it ain't done yet. It is an error, painful at that, but
Yeah.
you gotta shake it off.
Yeah. This is not yet done.
Yeah.
It's far from over. The Chargers up by a slim 1-point lead. Starters back on the floor. Mitch Cobb will serve. Good first ball. Coronel goes middle. Unable to connect. Soyud tries. Blocked.
Oh, good cover.
Kept alive. Another try for Eli. Eroa saves it. Julia set up to Ronquillo. Soltones was there for the pickup. Cobb to Soyud. It goes. And Eli Soyud with 20 big points.
You know,
puts Akari up by 2.
You know, Akari, the bets they were complaining about that set from Julia Coronel, they thought it may be a lift.
Yeah.
But I guess poetic justice, they get the point.
It's been a game of runs, especially here in the 5th set. Galleries mounting a 5-0 run to tie things up. Akari responding with 2-0 blasts. Another one for the Highrisers, and Jimenez gets past the single digit now with 10 points.
Well, you did say now 4 players for Galleries are in double digits, and what you like is that fight back. You know, it's just a 1-point game.
All-important serve
All
for
important serve.
Carly Hernandez. You could feel for her in this one. It is through. Cobb back sets. Soyud slowed down. Carly with a bump set. Jimenez waits for it. Still going. Ronquillo with the offhand. Hernandez wants a clear out. Jewel. It's wide. It's out. And the Chargers are at match point.
Boy, we did say, you know, these close sets always so far, at least in this match, favors Akari.
Looking to get into the semifinals.
And the Chargers are 1 point away from making their second semi-finals appearance in the PVL. 14-12. Set up to Jimenez. Back to Isa. The push. Chance for Akari. Cobb to Nesperos. And down it goes as the Akari Chargers advance to the semifinals of the PVL All-Filipino Conference.
Well, we have to say it was a hard-earned victory for Akari, and what you love about this group of girls is their ace actually had a pretty quiet night. Sharma went down with an injury, but they came together and they hung tough and they prevailed.
Oh, Nesperos with a final point in the celebration for the Chargers as they repeat the same thing that happened in Game 1, coming back, winning in 5 sets over the Galeries Tower Highrisers, whose incredible journey this conference ends tonight.
It is deja vu, but you know, we have to give it to Galleries. They had an incredible conference. They have to keep their heads held high and look to the future. The future looks very bright for these girls.
It's an inspiring run for them from the qualifying round, beating the higher seeded Signal HD Spikers and then putting Akari to the test. But at the end of it, they come up short and the Akari Chargers prevail in game number 2 as they advance to the semifinals. They bring in Fifi Sharma, who went down with an ankle injury earlier. They won this game, allowing their team to await the final 2 teams who will join them in the semifinals round. Of course, Choco Mucho being the other one after winning earlier. But now we go to Kyla Castillo, who is the player of the game. Go ahead, Kyla.
Yes, Dip and Noreen, similar script and similar ending favoring the Akari Chargers. And right now with me is our player of the game, Ellie Soyud, with 20 points from 18 attacks, 1 block, and 1 ace. Ellie, congratulations. That was a hard-fought win. Tell us, ano ba yung tumatakbo sa isip nyo habang naghahabol kayo? And ultimately, naipanalo nyo ito.
Ang nasa isip namin talaga, hindi ibibigay siya ng madali ng gallery. Siyempre, kailangan, nakita niyo naman kung gaano kahirap kaming pumuntos din sa galleries. Kudos din talaga sa kanya na sobrang hirap ng laban na to. Pero, kinaya namin. Thank you.
Yes, kinaya nyo talaga at makikita yung resiliency, yung mental toughness ng Team Ellie. Gaano ka-proud sa Akari Chargers for fighting your hearts out?
Sobrang proud ako sa teammates ko kasi walang nag-give up. Lahat nag-input ng ideas kung ano yung gagawin. Lahat nag-a-adjust. And thank you talaga sa lahat sa kanila kasi walang tumigil. Yun.
Yes, at kitang-kita natin yon, no? So, Ellie, meron ka bang mga gustong batiin at pasalamatan sa mga fans ng Akari?
First of all, thank you kay Lord na nakuha namin tong semis. Thank you sa Akari management, kay Sir Chris, yung family niya. And syempre, hi sa nanay ko, Lisa Soyud sa Bago City. And hello sa mga kapatid ko. Hi kay Air, kay Ezra. Hi sa honey ko. And hi sa mga pamangkin ko, kay Kilsa, kay Sian, kay Molly, kay Tita May, and kay Ate Tel sa ate ko sa Dubai, and si Steph, and then yung family Pasamanti sa Sagay, Kabangkan and Cadiz. Hello sa lahat ng Pasamanti family, and thank you po sa lahat ng blessings, Lord. Aray ko! Hi kay PD guys! Hi sa lahat ng teammates ko, yun lang. Thank you.
Well, Ellie Soyud, Akari Chargers, pasok na kayo sa semi-final!
And officially, the Akari Chargers are the second team through to the semi-final round of your 2025 PVL All-Filipino Conference. 2 are through and 2 more slots open, waiting to be determined as we continue the games on Saturday. We transfer all the way to Antipolo City at the Inares Center at 4 p.m. The Zeus Thunderbells, can they continue that momentum and pull off another shocker as they go up against the Petrogas Angels? Followed by the Cool Smashers of Creamline going up against the Cherry Tigo Crossovers at 6:30 p.m. Creamline also up in that series 1-0 as we say goodbye and thank you to all our viewers for tuning in here on One Sports, on One Sports Plus, and on Pilipinas Live. What a day! 2 5-setters and ultimately 2 teams making it to the semi-finals. So on behalf of our courtside reporter Kyla Castillo, my partner Noreen Go, this is Dip Dipianco saying thank you for watching the Premier Volleyball League. This is the heart of volleyball.